this project, Black Feminists Taught Us, is about honoring the Black women and gender expansive people in our lives, our mothers, our other mothers, our biological and chosen kin, our friends, our family members, whoever it may be, people that we know and even people that we revere from afar, and honoring and centering their life, leadership, their legacy, their love, their inspiration. And so this is how Black feminists have taught us.
The first person that I would have to say is my mother, who made me a reader and a writer.
Probably the biggest person in my life that's going to be the biggest inspiration to me over anybody is my mom. I probably wouldn't be doing anything that I'm doing to this day without my mom.
Number one, mother of 7 children, and spent the majority of that raising us single. Still have no idea how she did it. So she taught me strength and resilience, undoubtedly.
I have to start with my own family. My mother, my grandmothers. I actually just lost my mother earlier this year, so I'm constantly in reflection about how many ways she impacted me that I didn't even realize it. And there's so many times that I want to pick up the phone and call her or do something, and it just is a reminder of how much influence that she has had on me and how much she has made me who I am today.
My mother and my grandmother and my little sister are just true inspirations to me as Black women. They're Black women radicals to me through and through, and they've taught me love, patience, mercy, and grace.
I'm also inspired by my younger sister, Rebecca Barber, who is an organizer, who's a writer, who is fierce and one of the fiercest young Black women I know.
Like my homegirls, like, Beza Fakata, wonderful just thinker when it comes to sound and music.
My mother recently joining the Ancestors, and through that experience I'm learning the lessons of her lifetime, the endurance, the focus on kindness and generosity, a love of language, a love of words. So when I met Sonia Sanchez and Tazaki Shange, I was ripe for the experience of poetry.
The first time I read her, my soul combusted. Similar to how when I first read Bell Hooks or Audre Lorde or Octavia Butler, but specifically Sonia Sanchez gave me the courage to live life with language and to honor poetry as not just an art form, but a way to live your life, a way to express yourself, and a way to create.
Toni Morrison is just a sage. I mean, she's an incredible writer, but I do say that if the Colored Girls Museum was a book, it would be a Toni Morrison book.
Her ability to not be enamored with the white gaze, which is something we can sometimes struggle with, in catering our art to that audience because it's mainstream, because it may sell more or do better, maybe not, right? But she never compromised, so she taught me to not compromise my work in favor of kind of reaching that audience.
She introduced me to a world and a way of speaking about a world that just blew me away.
Angela Yvonne Davis.
All of her efforts in just being an abolitionist and working with those who are incarcerated and making sure that people are aware of what mass incarceration looks like in our country and its connections to slavery.
Taught me to stand up for myself and not think about what other people had to say, but just to stay focused on who I am and what I need.
Nathan Alexander Moore. She is a fantastic Black, queer, and trans and Black studies scholar. Y'all need to look out for her. She's incredible.
My sister Jasmine, she has been someone who's inspired me throughout my life. She's been able to teach me lessons of what to do and what not to do. Also just watching the way that my family has raised each other. That includes my 4 aunts and my mom and my grandmother. All of the Black women that raised me, Black women that's loud, Black women that's vocal, gender expansive folks that don't give a fuck. and that prioritize them existing, and that make the decision every day to be themselves.
Every Black woman that I encounter teaches me something new about myself, teaches me something new about the world, and I think that that's really important. It's always been Black women who've advocated for me to have a space or a seat at the table, I should say. It's always been Black women who have actually been there to exhibit a level of compassion and empathy that I've also needed at certain times when you're feeling fragile, when you're feeling vulnerable, and those Black women won't take those vulnerabilities and weaponize them against you, but yet they'll take you in and they will heal you from those things.
So there are so many Black women, Black gender expansive people who taught me lessons of how to use my voice to speak truth to power. How even in the midst of the trauma that we all experience, how to still have joy and peace, like Fannie Lou Hamer.
Saidia Hartman.
Maya Angelou, Bell Hooks, Jesmyn Ward,
Leslie B. McCoy,
Issa Rae,
Marielle Franco,
Tazaki Shange.
They all paved the way, you know, and they gave us the tradition, and we build upon that tradition, and they gave us strength to see and stand up and question, and I'm just so excited to, you know, be a part of that legacy as a Black woman. So this collaboration between Philadelphia PrintWorks and Black Women Radicals is meant to fundraise for the School for Black Feminist Thought. Both organizations are committed to political education and also share the mission of advocating for Black women and gender expansive people.